You are now tuned in to the Khaotic Kulture Podcast.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue all the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Kid to pro and friends, black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
All right. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Khaotic Culture Podcast, the pop where chaos rules and black culture is supreme. The Khaotic Culture Podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/Khaotic Culture Pod. Please be sure, of course, that you subscribe to the Patreon for bonus episodes and, of course, to help keep the lights on. Once again, we appreciate your support. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z can navigate the crazy parts from finances, black business highlights, black professionals, community, content creators, homeownership, HBCUs, sports, black nerdom, anime, wrestling, and especially black music. If it encompasses black culture, we're going to cover it. Currently live from the 410, I am the host and the creator of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. This is your boy, Ked the Pro, aka the Calculator Millennial, aka the Encore presentation, aka your favorite toxic adjacent king, Ked the Poet, Ked the Closer, all that good shit. 843 is me. Baltimore's the place to be for the time being anyway. Always chaotic, never toxic most days, and back again once again with black culture highlights and black culture shenanigans. I'll get into that a little later about why I say currently Baltimore's the place to be, because depending on what happens this week will determine where I will be at next week. So anyway, guys, it's good to be back for another episode. I know last week we talked extensively about WrestleMania, so big shout out to all of my wrestling heads who tuned in. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning into that episode. A lot of strange things happened WrestleMania weekend because WWE is on some crazy shit, but more on that later. In the meantime, you already know I got the crew with me. First and foremost, to the first lady of the pod, Sappy. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, ma'am.
Everybody, it's your girl Sack, aka a good episode for you guys to.
Awesome. And then, of course, to the instant negator himself from Texas, Scuba Steve.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is I, Scuba Steve, aka Scholar's Dad or whatever, aka the Instant Negator, aka don't call me Gambit because I could never be your X-Man. How are y'all? How we going?
Doing good. Now, for the audience, as always, we always start off with a mental health check, making sure that everybody is doing good, everybody is, maintaining, doing what they're supposed to be doing in life and not letting life beat them up. So I'm actually going to start with Sappy. How has your mental health been, ma'am?
My mental health has been amazing. I had a very, very, very busy weekend. I was even off today because my weekend was extremely busy. I went to a book festival this weekend, and that came with its drama. But I volunteered, and so I'm a great headspace. I met a lot of great Black authors. Got to listen to great panels. Had a good time. So right now, my mental is just calm. I'm coming down from the high of this weekend. And I'm sick. Of course, I would catch something, but I'm sick and I got the sniffles.
I hate that. My allergies have been kind of acting up today, so I had to make sure I got some stuff to be sure that I didn't fall sick and whatnot. I got my Zycam ready to be like, hey, look, I'm not playing with this thing. But I'm sorry to hear that.
I didn't think of that. And the event was outside. So it was just a lot of stuff going on. But I had a great time, though. It was phenomenal. I had a great time.
Good to hear. Yeah, shout out to the book festival here. Also, for my audience, we got some stuff coming up this weekend for those of you who are in the Baltimore area or just around the DMV area, of course. But I'll make those announcements later. Scuba Steve, how are you feeling, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I just been working. When I'm not working, I'm trying to write and promote books, doing things like that. But other than that, that's been my life. Like the last couple of days, couple of weeks is just work.
Felt. I definitely get that. The grind is the grind. You got to do what you got to do. Speaking of which, For those who already know, yeah, I've already said on the podcast that I've left my job. I can kind of say what it was now. I was with Amazon, obviously. I would not say where I work, and I normally don't say where I work until I leave the position. So, for those who didn't know, yes, I was working at Amazon for almost 2 years, but I left that job. Currently in the middle of looking for another job, so we'll see where that goes. I just had an interview as of this recording is Monday, so I had it today. We'll see what happens this week. If I get the job, great. If I don't, obviously I'm not going to be in this apartment anymore. For those of you who are watching the video, I will more than likely be recording from my cousin's house until I can get my life together. I do have a couple options. I can either stay with my cousin. I'm not going to say who or which cousin it is. If you know, you know. But I also have a friend who is a friend of the pod that offered me to room with them if that things don't go my way as well. So I've got plan A, B, C, and D, and E. So it just depends on what job comes calling for real, for real. We're ready to get back to work and try to get some money in my pocket because no one likes to be broke. And I especially don't like being a broke ass nigga right now. But it is what it is. I'm waiting for my last paycheck from Amazon and they playing with me. So I need them to clock is ticking. I need them to hurry up, please, and give me my money. Like I need that ASAP. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now. But other than that, I'm good. I'm in a good headspace. Regardless of what happens, I've already started packing up most of my shit. The only thing that I haven't packed up is my kitchen. And I packed up most of my kitchen. It's just the little stuff that I need to get. So I need to like buy another bin for all the plastic and shit and whatnot, and then like the glasses and the metal plates or the glass plates and shit like that. I'm gonna have to wrap up one of these days. But everything else is like essentially almost gone. So once that happens, then all I'm gonna do is just clean it after I get everything out, and then that's it. Yeah. So if I do record with ItMob this week, it'll more than likely be from my phone. It won't be from my desktop, obviously, because as soon as this episode is downloaded and uploaded, I will more than likely be taking my computer apart.
Ooh.
Yep. So fun times. But anyway, guys, that is a wrap for our mental health checks. We got some stuff to talk about here. Starting with our first act of this episode, we will be addressing Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion. And I really didn't want to like talk extensively about this, but I know it's been dominating social media. You got everybody and their mama commenting about it. I have some opinions, but I do want my co-host to at least express how they feel about the whole situation, because for those who don't know, obviously Meg and Klay have broken up. They are no longer in a relationship. Klay hasn't really said anything about it. People have been posting AI shit about what he has said or hasn't said or things like that. But according to Meg, he cheated, couldn't be monogamous, got cold feet, and she just decided to end a relationship. And obviously that probably hurt for her, because I guess she was looking for something monogamous. And of course, you got the Meg haters and whatnot, and then saying all kinds of shit. But anyway, I'm gonna leave my actual opinions on the matter last, but I do want to hear from my co-hosts and what do they think about this entire situation.
I
have no thoughts on this situation because it's above my tax bracket. If they break up, baby, that has nothing to do with my bills. But
Hey.
I will say this. I mean, I feel bad. No one likes to be cheated on. I mean, no one enters a relationship to be cheated on. And I know, especially when you're somebody in the spotlight and it happens to you in public, that shit is 10 times more embarrassing because now millions of people know you just got cheated on. So I genuinely feel bad for her. And I know she had performed at I think she's on Broadway for Moulin Rouge, and she was crying on stage. So I know she is going through it, and I feel so bad for her. At the end of the day, everybody is going in on Klay, and it's well deserved. So it is what it is.
In my opinion, it wasn't none of our business. Like that, this all like kind of why we in the group chat.
Right.
Like honestly and truthfully, like I said, like same.
Thank you.
Said, like nobody wants to be cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people get cheated on, and that shit happens all the time. but also you didn't have to tell everybody. Don't tell nobody, and especially with the way that all these people hate her for no reason and just looking for a reason. Like you just added fuel to the fire of people bashing you for no reason. And I hate that for her because she didn't deserve that either. Like she didn't deserve to be cheated on, but two, she don't deserve to be getting bashed like that. And I don't know. That should have just been like we broke up and that's it. And you know what I'm saying? It just would have been what it was. It didn't have to be no whole thing because now it's a whole bunch of everybody that she with all of a sudden is doing this. And I'm like, yeah, they celebrity dudes, like random dude from up the street that work at McDonald's is cheating on this girl. You think that that's not happening in the celebrity world too? Like, so stop making it seem like it's just a Meg thing. Like niggas cheat, niggas is trash. Like that's just what it is. They making it seem like it's a Meg thing. Like niggas cheat. Niggas is assholes and they cheat, they trash. That's what it is. And not to say that women don't do it as well, but in this case, we're not talking about them. We talking about Klay. Right. Klay cheated. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of them things where it's just, we shouldn't even really be in the group chat though. And I hate the fact that niggas love Tory Lanez so much that you're happy that Klay cheated on Meg. What do the things have in common? Like what is
see, hold on. I gotta say this. Anytime somebody brings up Tory Lanez in regarding to this situation, I just want to be like, give the kid the screen because like, what does that have to do with shit, man?
This is a dude that was not even, he was struggling to go platinum. Where's all the support coming from? You niggas was not buying the album when he wasn't in jail. Now all of a sudden you niggas all love. Stop lying. I hate you. I hate everybody. I hate that.
I'm not gonna lie though. Klay has been catching strays on social media, and I have been dying all day because why somebody say he looked like the PBS logo? And PBS was like, now why y'all call?
Oh, I was waiting for that because the dog. I went on Blue Sky, and that's the first thing that I see when I popped it open today was the PBS logo and the Klay Thompson haircut. I'm like, yo. Y'all got me dying out here, bro. I mean,
everybody has been a straight comedian today.
And then people making up lie. Well, I don't know if it's a lie, but I assume that it's a lie. They're talking about Meg was asking Klay for $700K a month. I'm like, bro, do you know how much money that is? $700K is not. I'm like, at first I was thinking it was a typo. I was all like $70K. $700,000 a month. She did not ask for that, bro.
I mean, I
don't believe that. Like,
she has money herself, but $700K. You talking? Dang, $6 million a year.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, bro. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't get it, and it's more along the lines of 12 million. No, not 12 million. Excuse me, I'm getting my math wrong. 8 million.
You saying that she asking that for being a girlfriend?
Nah,
like not even as the mother of his child, and she just like, bro, no, she did not do that.
I don't believe that.
Like she didn't do that, and that's just niggas just making up excuses to defend Klay. I don't know. It's stupid to bash her, and that's why I said it's dumb to even put this out there as like y'all business. That's y'all business. That should have been a thing. By the time you started dating somebody else, that would have been when they found out me and Klay not together no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how, like if I'm a celebrity, that's how it would go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
moving silence.
Yeah, we broke up.
I'm not gonna know my business. I'm absolutely like I could be, I don't know. I don't care how famous I get. Y'all ain't gonna know shit about shit until I do something else. Like y'all ain't gonna know my business. I'm sorry. But if I had to give an opinion on it, I feel pretty much the same. Like, it ain't really my tax bracket, it ain't really my business. At the same time, as y'all have said, nobody likes to get cheated on, and I understand why women across timelines have been commenting about this because, in essence, a lot of these women feel where Meg has come from, and they understand that Meg, since becoming pretty much a celebrity, has gone through such a traumatic experience between losing the parents, losing your grandmother, the whole situation with Party, the whole situation with Tory. They get it. And a lot of the women, and shoot, to be honest, a lot of the men can relate to what she's going through, because I mean, as you said, niggas cheat. And nobody likes to be cheated on, for real. Nobody likes that feeling. I would, as Steve said, I would have preferred not to know about it. Like, I don't think we needed to know about that, Meg. And I know Meg was in her emotions and she was ranting. And this is not saying that women get emotional, because niggas get more emotional. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. But I know that she was feeling the pain of being cheated on. And when you are in a high emotional state, you don't necessarily tend to think rationally, and that goes for all humans. So of course she was just letting her emotions out. And she did that in the form of Instagram, and that's how people figured out, oh shit, Klay was cheating. Now, the one thing that I want to know is does Klay have an actual like infidelity diary? Because apparently they were saying that he kept records and logs on like how he was cheating and whatnot, who he was cheating with and shit like that. I'm like, I see this across the timeline. I don't know how true it is. I'm just curious. I'm just like, yo, why would you document if you cheating on a motherfucker? Like, why would you do that? I mean, granted, I could ask the same thing about why would you even cheat? Like, if you feel as though that you don't see yourself long term with this person, or that monogamy is not for you, then
just break up.
Yeah, just break up.
That's that other 50% over there that doing stuff like that. That other 50% got you doing crazy shit like documenting affairs. That's insane.
Right. That is crazy. I would never. I can't. I don't know. It's just not it's not in my nature. But that being said,
a little white of you.
This ain't none of my business. I caught that, Steve. This is like, damn.
Fucking stupid.
Man, I'm saying. And I guess my other thing is
the Caucasian side.
That other 50%, man.
That you're right. I'm just trying to figure out why, how. Maybe okay, so maybe it's just me. I personally, if I was dating Megan Thee Stallion, I just can't foresee myself cheating. If I feel as though the emotions aren't playing, I would just again break up. But then again,
you don't know her personally though. She might be a terrible person.
She might.
I don't know. Like I don't know her personally. I don't know Klay personally, so I don't know what goes on through their minds and through their bodily functions. I don't know. If Klay is truly a serial cheater the way people say he is, but apparently he is, according to other people that he dated. Yeah, like, because if you ask Coco Jones, apparently nigga can't stop cheating. But I mean, if he,
I think that's NBA players in general.
That might be. And bro, if
athletes.
If you don't believe in monogamy, that should probably be one of the things that you discuss with her before you decide to cheat.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I really want to be with you, but I also don't believe in being with one person at one time. I would like to have like another girlfriend, and if she's not down for it, then at that time, that's when you be like, all right, look, we come at an impasse. It's time to move on.
That's not even something you discuss before you cheat. That's something you discuss before you get in a relationship.
But before you get into a relationship, I'm saying
before you get into a relationship,
you should be like, hey, I'm not monogamous,
right?
And allow them the opportunity
to make a decision, right?
To say after you get caught cheating, oh yeah, I'm not monogamous. Like, I punch you in the face. What is wrong with you? Like, what? Like, that's one of the things. Like, if I like, why would you wait till after you caught to be like, oh yeah, I'm not monogamous? Like, what? Like,
yeah, craziness, man, absolute craziness. At least let somebody know before y'all, commit to each other. That's something that just really bothered me the whole time. I'm like, Klay, if you're not monogamous, just why didn't y'all say that at the beginning of the relationship? Were you just so interested in cracking that you just, didn't think that would be an important thing to give to her? Like, and then that's the problem, is just that so many niggas are interested in just cracking, and maybe it means piping them down for a long period of time or for a certain period of time, whatever the case may be. If you're just interested in piping, just let it be known. But I know that niggas is shiesty and they don't want to do that, because if they do, then a lot of the times these women are gonna be like, nah, I'm not interested. So I know why they play that game, is just because they know that the only way that they can, get what they looking for is to lie. But I just say that the truth, it will benefit you much more than a lie will. Because if Meg wasn't down for that, there's plenty of celebrity women out there that it's just like, oh, you just trying to crack? Fuck it. It's Klay Thompson, dude. Come on, man. You got 4 fucking rings.
You just signed a $300 million contract before you came to the Mavericks.
I'm saying.
He can afford the $700K.
He can afford the $700K, but I'm not. Just because I can afford it, just because I can afford it, don't mean I'm going to do it. Like,
and don't Klay got long money. What's his dad in the NBA too?
His dad.
Yeah, if I was making, I would ask for $700K.
Yeah, and then
he cheated multiple times before.
If this is true, that she asked for $700K, I'm leaving you too. Like you are already my girl. You can get whatever you want to. Why would you ask? Also, can I have $700? Yeah, I'm leaving you as well.
Well, maybe that was including the $700K.
Yeah, no, still so if that's the case, if she really did ask for that, you know what I'm saying, you get what you get. And you don't throw a fit.
Right. Well, I'm just saying I don't believe it, but
I don't believe it.
That would make me look at Meg like, now, Meg, I know that he's good for $8 million a year. I know that he's good for it, but why would you ask him for that? Because he's still gonna get you anything that you want. The nigga bought you a house.
And you make your own money too.
Exactly. Like,
there's no.
All you gotta do is ask him to get it for you.
And I'm not going to be in the NBA that much longer.
Right.
So $8 million a year is going to add up really quick.
It is.
So you're not going to get them NBA checks no more.
Yeah. That being said, though, I for the record, I don't believe she asked for that. So yeah, that's just niggas coming up with excuses, man. And then, as you said, the Tory Glazers, like DJ fucking academics and shit. That I'm just like, bro,
that does not make sense. Why are we bringing up Tory in that relationship?
Man. I don't know. These niggas don't got nothing better to do, man. And then academics, like, that nigga be slobbing all kinds of motherfucking shit, depending on who it is, especially for Drake, which I'll get to later. But yeah, I
Drake.
Yes. That actually might be a good segue, because I think we've said all that we could about this whole entire situation. So yeah, I personally, I feel for Meg. At the same time, I'm just like, all right, y'all, there's plenty of people who cheat, and then there's plenty of faithful folk out there. But I do feel for the people who have been cheated on, because that shit does not feel good. And at this point, the internet's going internet. So, hey, look, for those of you who clowning on Klay, I mean, have at it. The easy target, bro. Easy fucking target.
And for Meg, like, there's still people that's in your tax bracket and stuff like that you can deal with. And leave some of these celebrities alone, the celebrity men alone, because they clearly they got groupies. They can't control themselves. Like, go get you a billionaire like Eve or Serena and live the life that you deserve.
My friend literally said that.
You can still live the life you deserve.
British man.
Well, you don't got to be
Saudi man.
Get you a Wahite man, but you can get anybody that's in your tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like, and still have a good life without messing with some of these dudes that got groupies.
No, for
clearly got groupies.
I'm to the point. I'm like, man, maybe you need to go lower to your tax bracket. Find you a middle class real estate broker that can, that can do what it.
No,
and see, I don't want her to downplay what her standards, but
no, of course not. Of course,
celebrity men are trash. Like, leave them alone.
Find you somebody who, one, is gonna value your worth, and also got long money. Boss, like, just find somebody who is not gonna be, like, as you said, a celebrity and not always in the spotlight, but still got investments that can not only match your money, maybe even be bigger than what you bringing in, but also can match your freak as well, because we all know Meg like to get down, but who doesn't? It's sex. But anyway,
it's sex.
Yeah. All right, so that segues into the quick check here. We finally got a reveal date for Iceman, which is Drake's latest LP or album that's coming out on May 15th. My question is, do any of us really care?
I don't care, but I'm interested to see what it does. I feel like Of course, the fans are gonna come and do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about that. I'm like talking about the actual people that are gonna listen. And what are we gonna get? Are we gonna get a bunch of hits? Are we getting a bunch of emotional crying because of the thing? Like, I just hope that he just makes an album with a bunch of hits. Honestly, please don't get in here complaining about how people switched up on you, and we're sick of that. Like, come on, man,
Yes.
let's just go. That's the same issue that low key I was cool with, with Cole just dropping the fall off, and then every now and then he would bring up the big three thing, and I'm like, hey, come on, man, get back to your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't care. That shit happened 2 years ago. like let's go. And so I'm hoping that Drake don't do that, but I feel like he will. I hope he just puts out an album full of hits, and that's it. Like we know lyrically, we're not finna get the other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he'll give us a bar every now and then. He'll give us some Instagram quotes for our pictures, and then that's what we're getting. I'm hoping that it's better than his previous work, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Sabby, you got any thoughts?
I mean, I'm not really expecting much from Drake. I mean, as long as we get the club bangers like he always pushes out, then I mean, I'm not really expecting him to have something like lyrically, like I'm going to reclaim my throne type. So I feel like Drake has kind of passed. It's sad to say. So I'm not really expecting a huge drop that I'm like, oh my God, he changed the face of music type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think his time has passed, unfortunately. So, I mean, I'm just waiting for the 3 or 4 club bangers from the album, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm thinking if this is I don't know how many tracks it will be, but if this is a 15, 16 track album, I'm thinking 5 songs that'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you drop a classic, that would be great. Music needs it. You know what I'm saying?
I'd
Like,
be surprised
yeah,
if he does.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised, but at the same time, I'd be like, okay, cool, because he might got something to prove after all the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so if he does that, that would be amazing. I would love that for him too. It'd be a nice bounce back. But I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the whole thing. I think that for me, I'm kind of like, yo, I'm keeping my expectations low for this one. I'm like, as long as he can, drop 3, 4, maybe 5 bangers, then it would do what it needed to have been done. Would I like a very introspective album of Drake? Would I like to hear some growth in his music? Would I like for him to get back to the essentials that kind of made Drake on along with the the melodies and the love songs and the club bangers? Do I want him to get back to that Take Care Drake, or that Nothing Was the Same Drake, or that So Far Gone, or that Comeback Season Drake? Yes. Am I expecting it? No, sadly not. I can say this wholeheartedly that I don't think that there has been a decent, and I mean mildly decent, Drake album since Scorpion. And if we want to talk about like quality album, then it would be If You're Reading This Is Too Late is the last thing that has some quality. For me anyway. I liked what was that thing that he dropped the same year that Damn dropped? I don't know. I'm not Scorpion. It was the thing before that. The little playlist that he dropped. I don't know why that shit is escaping me.
Was it Honestly Nevermind?
No, that is his worst. that is still by far for me his worst.
I love that album.
I did not. I'm sorry. I hated it.
And that's, to me, I was like, that's what started the beef with Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah. It was More Life, by the way. That's what I was thinking.
More Life.
Yeah. Yeah. I
love that album. That was probably my favorite.
I'll go back and listen to it again, maybe with new ears, but that was really bad.
Yeah, it was garbage for me. And if it's not, honestly,
I think it was because it was different from what he normally puts out.
He did, but he tried to steal the way from Beyonce because he had already wrote on Beyonce's album, and then he dropped his album with some house music before hers dropped. He was trying to take that right. That's why they was beefed out. That's why he's beefed out with.
Yeah. So
Jay-Z right now.
For me, the house music shit,
I ain't gonna lie, the
huh?
tracks
Go,
that
go
Drake
ahead.
had with Beyonce was fire. So
Yeah, I'm not. For me, I think that him attempting to do house music, I don't have a problem with that. It's just the fact that to me, the house music wasn't good.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I'll forever in a day put Renaissance above anything that I've heard in quite a while. Renaissance was phenomenal. Honestly, never mind was not.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just me personally.
I'll go back and listen to it, give it a chance. I
Yeah.
do car all day, every day. Anyway.
I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. So
Each their own. To each their own. Like, look, music tastes are different, but for me, that just wasn't it for me. But if it wasn't, yeah, if it was not, honestly, never mind. That was his worst. It was clearly For All the Dogs. That was his worst. If not that one, that album was just like so fucking lackluster, and it felt like I felt no emotion. It's like Drake is just going through the motions at this point. But I felt like he was doing that on fucking
Certified
Lover Boy. He was just going through the fucking motions, bro. Like, where's the passion? Where's the music making? He's gotten to that point now where anything that he drops is going to get consistent radio play, because at this point the name of Drake is too big to fail. And listen, I'm not one of those Kendrick diehards to be like, oh, I want to see Drake fail. I hope that he flops or anything. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to do numbers regardless. Drake has a great fan base, but what I want is good music.
Drake.
Yeah, I need some stuff that's gonna get me through, like, because I still claim to be a Drake fan, save for anything past Scorpion. Like anything that you've dropped after Scorpion, I've hated, except for the shit that you did with 21, Her Loss, and even then I have strong critiques about it because the amount of fucking misogyny in that fucking album was just like, bro, what is going on there? But still,
attacking the fan base that was feeding you for so long is crazy.
Yeah,
like most of his stuff with like the women was like, Drake just gets us and blah blah blah, and then for you to make a album like that is like, bro, what are you doing?
Right. And that was my problem with that album. But listen, in all fairness, I really do want Iceman to have something of substance. What I don't want him to do is what Steve said. I don't want him to spin the block on Kendrick. One, that time has passed, bro. It's been 2 years. Move the fuck on. You ain't got to kill the beef. We already know that the feud will forever be there because, as Kendrick said, y'all ain't never gonna piece it up. But I don't need to hear about it. We've already established that Kendrick won the battle, bro. Just move on, do what you do, move past it. I don't need to hear about you and whatever beef that you got with fucking Dr. Dre because of the shit that he did with Kendrick or with Lucian Grange. I don't want to hear any of the shit that you got to deal with UMG, bro. Just make shit that one is going to get the ladies moving in the club, and you know that's going to allow me to, I guess, get hype on my playlist, or allow me put something that's going to make me move and keep my hands waving, bro. Or if you go above and beyond, if you really about the your pen, then drop some lyrical ass shit or drop some introspective shit. But based on what I've seen and based on the moves that Drake has made in the last couple of years, I don't expect that I'm gonna get that. So I'm keeping my expectations extremely low for this one. And the bar is not hard to clear, but if he doesn't clear the bar, then I will have some words to say on this platform. As y'all heard about the words that I had for Some Sexy Songs for You, which I was like, out of a 21 disc or 21 song album, there was only like maybe 3 or 4 of them, 5 at the most, that was really good. And then everything else is just like, why is it here? That's the other thing that I don't want. I don't want an oversaturated Drake album. I've been having problems with oversaturated Drake album since fucking Views. Like, I don't need the oversaturated shit, bro. Just give me some shit that's really, really good, or don't put it on the fucking album. But again,
for me, he needs to take a break.
Yes,
to experience more life in a sense. So you can have something to write about. He's just putting out music just to put out music, and
right?
It's bad. It's not putting out quality music. But
exactly,
like you said, he's gonna make his money because of his fan base. So it's one of those things where he care more about his money than actually making good music.
Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that these last couple years might have put a spark in him in order for him to create music. But I'm with you on that one, Steve. I just want him to like take a break, experience life, and then at that point come back and write something introspective. But I don't expect that. But I'm hoping that at least the music will be good. That's all that I care about right now. That's all where my expectations are. Just make good music and not the same old shit that you've been dropping the last few years. The shit that obviously 2024 was a watch year. Leave that alone. Don't circle the block. Don't oversaturate the album. Just give us some good music that we can dance to and work with, and everything will be all right. That's all I got to say. Again, I'm not a Drake hater. You know, just I want him to actually put some effort into this shit. So, all right. With that, I want to transition real quick just because I know WWE Raw is going on right now at the time of this recording. And to my wrestling fans, I know this has been a terrible week because WWE released like 22 wrestlers, or some people might have had their contract expire and TKO decided not to renew. I know that it's been tough for us because a lot of those names, we were just like, yo, what the fuck? And some of those names, of course, included Kairi Sane, which was the biggest what the fuck to me. And I know that there was an internet campaign to get her back, but I think that Kairi is back in Japan. So it's probably a moot point, but I do hope and pray that Kairi finds something stable, or if WWE changes their mind, eventually we'll see what happens. But in any case, we know Kairi Sane got released. We know that Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, the couple, they got released, which was incredibly insane to me. And it's never a good opportunity, or it's never really a good situation when people lose their jobs, especially those whose dream it was to wrestle with WWE, and then creative doesn't have anything for them, so you just kind of let them walk or you release them from the contract. It sucks because, again, I know what it's like to essentially be pushed out of a company. So I get it. And I definitely hope that those wrestlers are able to find some work and they're able to kill it in different promotions. And, you know, if they decide to spend a block on WWE in a few more years, if they want to try again, I mean, that's up to them. But I know that Alistair and Zelina have been released twice at this point. I don't expect them to ever come back. Kairi, maybe there might be a chance. I know that she left initially to, you know, get married and be with her family and whatnot, and then came back after all things were settled. But to get released in the middle of a storyline is absolutely fucking crazy. So I do hope that there is that she gets something returning for that. But in any case, I definitely feel for these wrestlers, and I do hope that something good will happen. To see like the full release, obviously you've got to go on the internet. You'll see all the released superstars. Some of them were from the main roster, some of them were from NXT, and some of them hadn't even made it to NXT. They were in either Evolve, LFG, or we're still working with creative. But either way, my heart goes out to all of those that were all of the talent that was released. I do want to ask real quick before we get into some of these festivals that are coming and some of these events that are coming. Sappy, do you have any events that are happening around you within the next week or so?
Within the next week?
Yeah, that you can think of.
Not at the moment, no. Now,
Okay.
have passed, yes, but not coming up within the next week, no.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I just wanted to
know,
let you know.
it's not a festival, but I know Spike Lee is coming. I know Spike Lee is coming
Ooh.
this weekend. He's gonna be in DC to do a screening for School Days. He's gonna be at the Lincoln Theater.
Okay.
Got tickets.
Oh, you got tickets for that?
So it's gonna be fun. That's my favorite director. Of course I did.
Are there anything left? Is there anything available? Because I would like to see a screening.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they are. I'll send you the link.
All right, please and thank you. Please and thank you. So, just for some events that are happening in general here, for the DC area, well, more specifically the Baltimore area, there is the Asia and a Bite Festival that's happening this weekend in Baltimore. They have consistently do the Asia and a Bite Festival. It's pretty much it's a free event where you come out and of course, you know, you get to taste test and try different Asian style foods and whatnot. This is not the first time they've done it this year. This is, I believe, the second or third time that they've done it. If depending on my situation, of course, I will try to make myself available that Sunday to go out there, because Saturday I do have something else, which I'll get to in a second. But yes, the Asia and a Bite Festival will be this weekend, this Saturday, which is what May 2nd and this Sunday, May 3rd. So on top of that, for those of you who are in the DMV area, if you are familiar with Plus Ultra Entertainment, I've been working with them very closely. They have their 4th annual Villains Ball this weekend, which will be on Saturday. So come out and cosplay as your favorite, whether it be a Disney villain or whether it be an anime villain. For those of you who love villainry, the tickets are still available. It is happening in Washington, D.C. I will be out there to help volunteer, of course, for the event. But definitely wanted to give a big shout out to PUE or Plus Ultra Entertainment for the Villains Ball that they are having this weekend. The Villains Ball is one of their biggest events, and it's likely going to be a spectacle to see. I don't have my villain cosplay because I didn't know if I was going to be able to go or not. I definitely had a couple villains in mind, but it is what it is. I will still be out there volunteering and still be out there to support the team as necessary. But yes, it is a villains ball, and there will be, of course, food, drinks, different events that will be happening. I'm pretty sure that they'll have games, and of course, there will be a live DJ as always. So if you have not gotten your tickets for that, just be sure that you go to avillainsball.com. Plus Ultra Entertainment is not the official sponsor of the Khaotic Culture podcast, so I just got to throw that out there. That being said, I do work in tandem with them, so I do at least want to give them a shout out and let them know, do a little bit of free promo for them. But yeah, and hopefully maybe get them to sponsor this podcast one day soon. But we'll cross the bridge. Anyway. That is all the news that I have as far as events that are happening in the DMV area, at least thus far. Steve, you got any events that's happening in the Dallas area that you are interested in or want to talk about real quick?
We just had Foodie Land just this past weekend. It was pretty good. Foodie Land is basically a food con or food festival. So they had that or whatever. You get to try all these different dishes and stuff like that. That's not a common thing or whatever. And venues basically set up their shop, whatever they have their location of their actual store. So that was a really dope event. And it's a Black-owned Foodie Land thing. So of course it's everybody. I believe that they just dropped tickets for Anime Frontier, which is in December, but they just now dropped the tickets. So for those that are in Dallas, Anime Frontier is in December. So if you guys are trying to go to that, y'all need to go buy your tickets now because they sell out.
Might have to apply.
Yeah, apply for a panel and stuff like that too. Yeah, Anime Frontier, it is definitely that one. And then what else do we have? I think that's it. I'm pretty sure we got other stuff, but I can't think of it right now off the top. But those are the main ones that for sure are big events.
Sounds good. Speaking of cons, I know that Otakon happens at the end of July, beginning of August for those of us who live in the DC area. I am thinking about applying, but of course, I went to the website and the applications for panels have not been set yet. So there's that. So just got to wait a little longer for that. Obviously, I've applied to Anime NYC. We're still waiting on word for that. I've been trying to get some things in order for us to, for some of us who are going to DreamCon, honestly, still have to get my funds together before I purchase anything because I still haven't bought a room or a plane ticket yet. I'm just kind of sitting in limbo here because job situation and, so on and so forth. But once I finish moving and getting all my stuff together, then I can talk more in depth about DreamCon. Of course, I've already paid for my badge and everything. It's just a matter of now it's just getting there. So there's that. If there's anything, is there any other events that I want to point out? For those who live in VA still, if you're listening to this podcast, of course, the Tidewater Comic-Con is actually happening either this weekend or next weekend. Let me just double check to be sure that I got my dates right. No, I lied. It's May 16th and 17th. So yeah, if for those who want to check it out, of course, it will be in Virginia Beach at the Virginia Convention Center. That is Tidewater Comic-Con. Norfolk is also having their Norfolk Anime Fest sometime soon, if they haven't had it already, as well as Richmond. And then I know that there is Atlantic Comic-Con that comes to Norfolk, but that will be around the same time as Anime NYC. I can only pick one to go to, so I can't do both. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. Hopefully, you guys will be able to get to attend those cons. Anyway, with that, there's another black con that just established himself. I believe it's called BlerD Con. For those of you who live in New York, that is happening as well pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. This is 2020 BlerD 2026 or BlerD Con 2026 is happening between June 26th and June 27th in Japan Village in Brooklyn, New York. Obviously, with things going on around here, I wouldn't have the funds to attend that because, again, I've already set aside certain funds for not for BlerDCon, but for DreamCon. But with BlerD Con, if it goes well, then that might be something I might be looking into for next year. So we'll keep our eyes on that, and we'll see how the turnout is and how everything has gone down with that particular con, and then we can make plans regarding that once we hear back from the people who have attended, and we'll see what that's talking about. So BlerD Con is another black founded con, and hopefully, we wish them well, and we're hoping to hear good things from them. Anyway, next subject. I have not seen this movie yet, obviously, because I've been packing. But Michael, has anybody seen it?
Yes, I have seen Michael.
Wait, Sappy, that face. You're muted. You're muted, girl. I guess you haven't seen it yet, have you?
I'm embarrassed to say I haven't.
I thought Sappy would have been the first person to see it out of all of us. But,
I know.
Well, there's this week. We can revisit that when we get there. But Steve, how did you feel about it?
I thought it was good.
Brown is shamed.
It was really good as far as like the acting and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Like everybody was spot on. The cast was really, really good. I will say for me personally though, I didn't learn anything new. In this movie, which is cool because I feel like they played it safe, if that makes sense. Yeah. The acting was spot on to me. I feel like everybody was really good. Coleman Domingo, he's gonna get Oscar. he's definitely Joe Jackson in this movie. And Jafar was really good too. He was really good. But like I said, I just feel like they played it safe as far as like everything that we saw. I would have loved to see more insight into the mind of Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this one scene. They kind of show like him saying, "Yo, we're doing Beat It," and they kind of show like if we move the camera like this and we do but it was like a quick 2-minute scene. I wish we would have got more of that throughout the movie because there's times where they're doing the songs and stuff like that, but they're just going past it. And I would have loved them to do that the way that they they went into the mind. They went into the mind of Michael Jackson as he's directing this the video in a sense. And I wish we could have gotten more of that. Just going into the mind, especially when he was in the studio with Berry Gordy. You know what I'm saying? There's times in there where like Berry Gordy is kind of teaching him stuff. Quincy Jones and him is going back and forth. But it's just a quick 2-3 minutes. And I'm like, we needed more of that, more so than you just showing me the Thriller video. Because a lot of stuff, they were just showing the video. And I'm like, we know what the video looks like. So it's kind of stuff like that.
A lot of people said that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
there was a lot of reenactments of like stuff we already seen.
Yeah. And it was like, I get it. Like they're spot on. They're really good. But I want to know about Mike. Like, this is one of the most interesting people in the world to ever live. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you go to, him being in Wiz, his relationship with Diana Ross, he actually met Quincy Jones on the set of Wiz.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That would have been a nice little thing to like kind of tie. There's a lot of things that we could have gotten. But I say that, and I still say that this movie was really good. As far as like it just being like, they were spot on. Everybody was really spot on.
Okay. Hey, for sure. Since Savvy hasn't watched it and I haven't watched it, we definitely need to check it out this week. That will be my plan or one of my plans.
I'm gonna go tonight.
She said she's going tonight. Hey, okay. Yeah, I'm with it. To say, look, as soon as I get this paycheck, man, as soon as I finish this move, then yeah, I'm gonna go see it and that was my plan in general. I was like, man, forget whatever the critics say, because I know that critics are gonna pan it, because I mean it's a biopic, and if it's not as deeply introspective as Steve says it's not, then I understand why they would do it. But I'm not there to get any introspection. I really just want to see somebody portray Michael and just have a good time with it, and I think that's the purpose of this film. But if I'm not mistaken, are they doing like another part to this movie? Because it seems like from what I'm hearing, it ends like right around the time of Bad.
Mhm.
Okay.
Bad.
It ends and it says his story will continue.
Continue.
Kind of like a freaking Marvel movie. like it's like Michael Jackson will return. Like, whoa.
Michael Jackson will return in Avengers Doomsday. Okay.
That's kind of how the movie ended, though. It was like,
Okay.
his story will continue, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're getting a part 2 to this movie.
All right.
And the way that the money wise that they done made, I wouldn't be. They're definitely doing a part 2. I wouldn't be
From that family, absolutely.
Yeah, they probably cut it up and make a third with it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I saw Latoya acting like she the celebrity of the movie at these damn premieres. I'm like, girl, don't nobody know you.
Right. Dog, that's crazy. That is crazy. So yeah, I can't wait to watch. I cannot wait to watch, and I cannot wait to enjoy myself in the theater. So before we get up out of here, we definitely got to talk about this unhinged case. I'm not sure how familiar anybody in my audience is familiar with the case surrounding the artist known as David, or David Anthony Burke is his full government name. But yeah, this shit is unhinged, and it's really kind of hard to break it down. But basically, what happens is that David enters into a quote unquote relationship. Is really sexual abuse, because it's a relationship with someone who is underage. And when we say underage, we mean like they're 13 at the time. So at the time, David enters into this relationship with this 13-year-old by the name of, if I'm not mistaken, it is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And, at this time he is, building his, burgeoning music career, and he's trying to become a famous artist and so on and so forth. He's making SoundCloud music and shit like that. But yet he has this relationship with this teenage girl, obviously, and he is an adult. I believe that he was either 19 or 20 at the time that he first met her. So yeah, clearly he is having relationships with a minor. So this goes on for about a year. In around 2024, she runs away to be with him, and it's kind of like, this is kind of crazy. Why is a 14-year-old running away? But whatever the case may be, she runs away to be with him. They find her. She runs away again, and nobody sees her, or they might see images of her, but the family has been putting up posters asking, have they seen her and shit like that. Around April 23rd, 2025, that's the last reported sighting of her. And it said that she was headed over to David's house, and then from there we don't hear anything about it since. David drops an album, he goes on tour or gets ready to go on tour, and then in September it is found that in an impound lot there's a Tesla with a foul odor coming from it. Yes, and when the authorities go to inspect the Tesla, in the front trunk they find Celeste's mutilated and badly decomposing body, chopped up into pieces into 2 different bags. You got her head and her torso in one bag, and then her ligaments in another bag. And it's like, whoa, what is going on here? So then at that point, the tour stops, and they go on this long case on trying to make sure that they investigate the case properly, because when someone has been chopped up and mutilated and then their body's been decomposed for that long, allegedly, then it's going to be hard to, I guess, identify DNA, because at that point DNA has degraded. It wasn't literally until this month, April, that they finally arrest him on suspicion of murder, and then just a couple of days ago they finally fully charge him with murder, as well as some other charges as well. This is completely unhinged just from reading the story, because from what I'm hearing in one of the hearings, They saying that prosecutors have revealed they are handling a large volume of evidence, and they say about 40 terabytes of a significant amount of child pornography. I want y'all to understand how big 40 terabytes is. That is wow.
8 terabyte is a lot. 40
exactly. 1 terabyte is a lot of data. 40? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I don't even know what sound effect I want to use for that. That is some hold on.
I don't think there's one made for that.
It's not. I use that one.
Jesus.
Yeah, because that is a lot of fucking that is a lot of child pornography itself is crazy.
I didn't even know this part until you just said that part.
Yeah, I had to read it from one of the news reports, and it just said they found a significant amount of child pornography, and this is like, yo, that is unhinged. And the way that they were discussing this case, it just seemed really, really eerie to start, because when David was talking about making his music, he was talking about like if he committed a crime and how he would investigate it and shit like that. So that made this shit even more eerie. But what prosecutors are kind of like alleging is that he, of course, allegedly murdered this child because she was going to go public with their relationship. And obviously, you know, that would mean that if it was true, he'd have to register as a sex offender and so on and so forth. And I guess he didn't want that stain on his career, and he wanted to be able to, you know, continue his quote unquote lucrative career. So yeah, it's a whole lot. This is just crazy. And the more I'm like reading it, the more disgusted I get, because like, yo, this is insane. The fact that she was staying with him for a whole year was one thing, but this entire thing.
Ain't say nothing.
Her parents had been looking for her for an entire year, and then, you know, they discovered what would have been her 15th birthday. That's when they discovered her mutilated body. So this is for an entire year. And of course, her parents, you know, have said that, you know, they're absolutely distraught, and they talk about how, you know, she was a loving and caring person. But it's just the fact that they were looking for her for an entire, at this point, not even an entire year, a year and a half, if you include the fact that if he did commit the murder, it was around April of last year, and they find her mutilated body, what, 5 months later? That is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. And I'm just like, yo, this is wow. But yeah, apparently, I guess the prosecutors, what took them so long to actually like charge him was, again, because DNA, you know, has degraded over time, especially like if you kill somebody and then you mutilate them and then wrap them up, and then nobody can find you for 5 months, or if nobody can find your body for 5 months, it's kind of hard to kind of like use DNA evidence to prosecute them. But yeah, they've had 3 selective grand juries to kind of look into discovery into this case. And it finally took them on the 3rd one to finally, one, arrest him on suspicion and then formally charge him a few days later. But yeah, apparently his family is standing behind him 100%, which, I mean, they would. But yeah, her family have just been like absolutely distraught, because that would mean, yeah, just to be dead. According to what they said, the medical examiner, what they reported is that she had 2 penetrating wounds to her torso, including injury to her liver, and there was evidence of traumatic injury. According to the report, there was a severe post-mortem change to her dismembered body based on how long she's been dead. So yeah, what they're saying is that she was the way that she died was more than likely from a sharp object, and then once she died, then obviously David chopped her body up, allegedly, because we can't say for sure that he did it. But I'm just flabbergasted, because one, you kill somebody and you a sexual predator. That is I don't even know how to comprehend that.
I'm interested to see what actually happened when the true story comes out, because there's just a lot of pieces within this story, and I feel like once we hear exactly what happened, it's probably going to be even worse than what they're trying to piece together.
I don't even know
Right
how
now.
we're gonna figure out. All we know is that stabbed and mutilated. unless he comes out and tells us
He might get a
exactly.
conscience, and that's what I'm saying. He might,
That's,
because he seems like,
I
I
mean,
don't
he
know,
made a stupid
anybody
song
that
or
is
something.
okay with doing that.
Yeah, he made like a song or something like that where he kind of hinted at it or something like
And
that,
that's what
right?
I'm saying. Like he had made like songs that were hinting to something like similar to this, and that's what I said. That's what made this case extremely eerie because it's like, yo, what in the hell is going through this dude's mind? I don't even want to know. But as you said, like all we
Serial
know is that,
killer.
yeah, and apparently there was some like some of the evidence that he tried to delete obviously was he had recorded some of their interactions. Obviously they had been on TikTok and whatnot, doing TikToks and shit like that, but there was some stuff that he had said within the TikTok that kind of like raised alarm bells according to his followers. It's like, yo, why would you say that? Or like, oh, what is going on here? And it was just like it was one of those secrets that wasn't a secret. It's just like worst kept secrets. It just seemed like, okay, she's been around him a lot and he is not a teen anymore and she's a brand new teenager. What is going on here? And apparently there was a couple of songs that he looked like he recorded voicemails and whatnot, and some of those voicemails have her saying like how much she missed him and asking him stupid questions like why he doesn't hold her hand anymore and things like that. It's just like this is really such a strange, eerie, and crazy case that I just don't know how to contextualize it, and I don't know how to like really truly comprehend because it's just so fucking wild. Like, I'm still not over the 40 terabytes of child pornography. I'm still not over that, much less anything else.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say about it. This is such a strange case.
Yeah, I don't really got much to say about that. That shit is sick. Um, he's wild.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like, he's wild, and this that mutilation, like that's death penalty.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a straight death penalty because like it's first degree murder with special circumstances, and that would be mutilation or illegal mutilation, and of course sexual misconduct with a minor. So I'm pretty if he's found guilty, that's it. And California does not
That man ain't
have,
seen the light of day.
right. I'm like, California does not typically do the death penalty, but for this, I'm pretty sure that they would give him the death penalty if found guilty.
yeah. Like, what's even crazier about that is that like the family that's sticking beside him. I get it, that's your family, but you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if none of the other stuff is true, 40 terabytes of child pornography, I can't stick beside you.
That's enough.
Like, I can't stick beside you, bro. Like,
Oh,
you wrong, and I
Yeah.
ain't not gonna do it.
I'm trying to figure out why would you let a 13-year-old hang around your damn near grown son at that point? Like if you see this young girl, you start asking questions like, yo, how old is she? Why is she hanging around you? Dude, what are you doing? Like, no, stop. But I'm not his family, and thank God I'm not, because that is insane, bro. As you said, the child pornography, that's enough for me to be like, nah, I gotta cut it, bro. Like at one point we say like, bro, you need help. And he clearly needed a lot of it. So, this is sick. Zuko.
They gonna get him some help.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about it because it's just like, again, one, there's a reason why I said that we don't, do we don't worship celebrities on this podcast, because clearly like the celebrity worship and stan culture is
they all crazy.
Yeah, but when you see like celebrities do stuff like this, it's just like, yo, this is sick. This is sick, and this is why I tell people like, you gotta find some people who are doing some good in the world, like in your family or in your life that you know of, that you can really be, take after, or if you want to have a role model, make it somebody close that is, as long as they're good people and decent people and doing what they're supposed to do, look for role models in those people that you know and not people that you don't know, because it's clear that I don't know if this young lady was just enamored by the music that he was making or just enamored by him in general, but clearly it became something to the point of sexual abuse and assault and misconduct with a minor. I'd ugh, that's really all I can say is ugh. This is disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Um, but that's really all that I have for you guys today because I just wanted to talk about this. Talk about, of course, Iceman dropping. Talk about the microfilm, which obviously, unfortunately, Sappy and I have not seen yet, and of course, to talk about the things that we talked about earlier in this podcast regarding Klay and Meg. Black culture is definitely going through it right now. There's still some good things that are happening. So, of course, as we said, if you live in the areas that we live in, please be sure that you check out these events. We are doing some good in the world, man. Trust me, there are a lot of Black folk who are really doing some good in the world. Dave is not one of them. Please be sure that you avoid stuff like that. Please, please. If for whatever reason you feel like you're being drawn in into a situation that you don't want to be, please be sure that you reach out to people that you know and people and family that can keep you away from situations like these. And I just because I know one thing, man. Listen, if that was my daughter, and I found out that that was happening, I might get the death penalty my damn self because I literally would rage out like, yo, where is he? Like, I'm taking I'm sending
There's no
somebody
question.
to hell right now. Like,
Yeah,
you going on a damn obituary at that point, my guy.
yeah, it's gonna get a. Hopefully, I get a crime of passion.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what that will boil down to. I'm being told, of course, like as far as him being detained, that of course he's being kept, in solitary confinement in a segregated area away from people and whatnot, and that he only gets like 3 hours of, to get to be outside, and he can't watch TV or
That's too much.
yeah, he gets a shower once every other day. Um, yeah, yeah, that's definitely too much for me because for me, I'm like, yo, you don't deserve any of that for real, for real. Yeah,
Yeah, and that when they do the thing that'd be so crazy is like stuff like this. When you give them the death penalty, why are we waiting 25 years to do it? Like to follow through? Like
I don't know.
you got the death penalty, do it. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple hours.
just get
Yeah.
it over with.
Yeah, you got a couple hours, bro. Like you got a couple hours. That's it.
They be on death row for half their life.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like that person that they did that to didn't get to live that long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna give them that much time, like for cases like this. I don't mean it's for all cases, but for cases like this, and like, bro, like you got a couple hours. Like that's it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely
Say,
be like,
my man
yo,
wants the verdict, and then hours later you go.
Yeah, like
yeah,
once.
do it now. Like,
Yeah. Hey, we sentence you to the death penalty in 3 hours. That's what
Pack your bags.
like when the judge say that. When the judge be like, we sentence you to the death penalty, it should be in 3 to 5 hours, sir.
That's wild.
And that just be what it is.
yeah, I guess part of the reason why they allow a certain amount of years is just in the event that the sentence gets commuted or if they find new evidence within the case of things like that. So we'll have to see how the case plays out, but I'm kind of like you on that. If there's like definitive proof that he has done it, and there would be no reason for a commute at that point, I'm like, yo, just send that boy to the gulag immediately.
And do it on national TV to set an example.
Mm.
Like, this is what we not.
Hey, you got it too.
this is what we not gonna tolerate. Is
craziness, man.
Mm.
But that's all that I got for you guys today. Any new highlights, new businesses that y'all want to shout out, or any businesses in general that y'all want to shout out?
I think
I want to shout out. I want to shout out the Chocolate City Literature Festival. They did a phenomenal job this past weekend. I volunteered for it, and I was able to meet some great authors. I had a great time, great panels. I got a whole bunch of books signed, and it was the first of many. Hopefully, nothing goes off without its it's kinks and whatnot, but it was a great event overall. I had a great time.
Kinks, I
So
wonder
shout
what
out to
that's
them.
about. I wonder what that is about.
Listen.
Oh,
The book girlies can tussle is all I'm gonna say.
oh boy.
You would have thought, yeah,
All right,
you would have
well,
thought that it's just girls reading books, but honey,
okay, I gotta play that one more time,
man,
but all
Sunday
right.
was about drama.
I hear that. I hear that.
It is funny.
All right. Apparently I also missed another festival that was this weekend. It was a Black on the Block that happened in DC. They go to different cities typically. So yeah, this
Yeah.
was this past Sunday. Yeah, I'm mad I missed that, but again, I was packing up stuff. So I mean, I really couldn't do much with that. But anyway, hopefully next time that they're around and I'm still in the area, I'll definitely check that out myself. So shout out to Black on the Block.
Oh, also shout out to Zach Fox. He had a DJ set in DC at Bertha. Phenomenal. Had a ball.
I did see highlights of that. So yeah, big shout out to Zach Fox.
Yeah,
All right.
that was good.
Anything else before we get up out of here? All right. Well, I haven't done the rundown in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and see. Well, first off, I got to find it. There we go. Pull out the rundown. So for those who don't know, at the end of each podcast or, select podcast, we do a rundown of all the Black artists, Black podcasts, authors, content creators, and businesses that have either supported this podcast or have been on this podcast in some form or fashion. So it's to give you an idea of what you can check out aside from this podcast as well. So once again, shout out to Inside the Mind of a BlerD. That's gang. Steve is the founder of that. So big shout out to them. As y'all know, I am, officially back since I'm no longer working crazy hours, at least for the time being. I will, be coming live from my phone the next time that we do a pod episode. So there's that, because again, I got to finish packing and getting up out of here. But yeah, shout out to Inside the Mind of a BlerD. Big shout out to Mike Check Waifu. They've been going strong now for quite some time as far as our seasonal anime. So if you need seasonal anime to check out, please be sure that you check them out. Shout out to Polo and Tel. Big shout out to Dad Needs to Talk with Rob, the father of Ash. He's still going. Shout out to Geek Seg Podcast. Shout out to Anime Junkies 3 Weaves in the podcast. Speaking of Geek Set, I think that they just had they had a panel at C2E2, if I'm not mistaken, for the Black Geek documentary. So once again, shout out to them doing their thing over there. Big shout out to Black Geek Energy, aka BGE. That's of course Jardo and DeMarcus. I was actually recently on another episode with them these past couple of weeks, so please be sure that you check out that episode as well. We try to compile a list of the top R&B songs, and obviously there was some pushback because y'all know Jardo loves his Beyonce, and the one Beyonce song that he chose, we were just like, why did you choose that one? So you got to watch the episode to find out.
And he chose Beyonce.
I told him, I'm like, if there was a Beyonce R&B song that he could have chose, there was a couple on there that he just completely missed. And I'm just like, you chose a super deep cut, which is a good deep cut.
I'm sorry, top R&B?
Yes, top R&B. And yes.
And he said Beyonce?
And look, I had a Beyonce song that I picked that didn't make our final five. But at the same time, I know people, debate on whether Beyonce goes between pop and, R&B. And I'm like, her earlier stuff you could probably put in the category of R&B. But again,
would it be top R&B?
That's debatable. That is very, very debatable. What song that I said that he more than likely could have chosen? I would have been like, I wouldn't have touched it. It was Dangerously in Love. If he had that on this list, I would have been like, I could argue, but I also can't argue because you could have made a compelling argument. But again, he chose a deep cut from the album 4, which
he
was
could have made a what?
I said, for Dangerously in Love, he could have made an argument. But yeah, that's why I said you gotta watch the episode, because me and DeMarcus we were like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. A lot of the stuff that we chose was like from 90s and 2000s, are mainly 90s R&B, because I mean that's the era that we grew up in. So there's a lot of debate with that one. You watch the episode, you tell me what you think, Sappy, if you got time. For our Black authors, yeah, shout out to K Renee and Elena Graham. K Renee just had a birthday, so big shout out to her. Turning 34. That just reminds me, I'm about to be 35 in a couple weeks, guys. I found another gray in my mustache this time, not my beard, but my mustache. So I'm like, yep, I'm getting up there now. Trying to I'm not gonna dye my shit though. I'm not that desperate. So anyway, for our black content creators, of course, off Black Mag with Aaron and the team over there. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to, of course, to Cerberus Entertainment. Big shout out to Tatted Poodle. Shout out to the Geechee Gamer. Big shout out to Shelby, aka Simply Janine with Simply Baked and Rose Less Traveled. Big shout out to Toasty Marshmallow. She's in California right now doing her thing. Shout out to the Corner 5. They Simone, Courtney, and Chris just had a very unhinged episode a couple days ago. They were playing a game called Good Luck, or is it Bad Luck? But yeah, if you're into rage bait games, I'd suggest going back and watching that because that was hilarious. So big shout out to them, and shout out to the other members of the Corner 5, Phi and Sham. Big shout out to them. Of course, Scuba Steve with BlerD Mind Productions, and of course, please be sure that you read Rake the Dead. And I was gonna say, is he gonna pull it up? But he pulled it up. There it is.
Oh, it's always right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big shout out to Yup, That's D. And of course to Cleopatra with the Khaotic Kingdom. Almost said Khaotic Culture. She does the Khaotic Kingdom over there. So big shout out to her. And of course, shout out to Carabis. She actually just got approved to be a content creator over at Anime NYC. So big shout out to Tyler. We love you over here. All right. For our black artists, big shout out to our very own NASA, of course. Big shout out to Scoozy. I know he just had a show up here in DC that I missed because packing. But yeah. Shout out to Jack Union, Phil.me, Ellis Quinn, RJ Stackhouse. Big shout out to Quarter. Shout out to Tyrone Lick Jr., who is also part of that show. Again. Shout out to Ari Lachelle, Zach Cons with Fortresses. Shout out to Elena, Zainab, and of course Imogen, who is also part of that show with Scoozy as well. For our black businesses, shout out to Fresh Nerds, Righteous Minds with Timo. Big shout out to Studio Maho with Pat and Yin. Big shout out, of course, to She Designs 2 with Aaron. Black Magic and Little Wands with Low and T. H4 Creative with Zenobia. Real Estate Stone by Meredith. Soul by Bell by Mariah. And, of course, Scrappy Sentiment with Sappy. I'm getting tongue-tied today. But, yes, shout out to Sappy and her own business. Also, as y'all already know, we are affiliates of BlerD9 or Divine Nine Blerds. Please be sure, of course, if you are a member of a D9 organization or National Panhellenic Council and you would like to be a part of this Discord, just hit us up. We will make sure that you get an invite so you can be a part of the Discord. We talk about everything from cons coming up to anime to wrestling to boxing to music to all of that. If you are a nerd and you are part of the D9, just hit us up later. I will make sure that I give you that invite code to the Discord. So shout out to BlerD9. All right, guys, that's all that I got for today. Please be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Khaotic Culture Podcast on your favorite DSP. Please, of course, be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon to get this episode early and, of course, to get other episodes as well. We will probably be doing some more bonus content once I finish my move. You know, again, dude had to work crazy hours, so we haven't been able to really do any bonus content for real. But we are going to, re-examine the Patreon and make sure that we get some stuff on there for you guys so that way you can check it out. So with that in mind, of course, you can follow us on Facebook at the Khaotic Culture Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter/X at Khaotic Culture 1. You can follow us on Blue Sky at chaoticculture.bsky.social. And you can follow us everywhere else that includes Threads, Instagram, and TikTok at Khaotic Culture Pod. You can follow me, Ked the Pro, that's K3D the Pro on all social media. You can follow Sappy at Scratch14 on all social media. You can follow Scuba Steve at Scuba Steve 1428 on all social media. And of course, you can follow Law at L.JR_96 on Instagram and Law96_ on X. And this has been another edition of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. So until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules, be blessed, be safe, and God is love. We out of here. Deuces.
So what's the word?
You are now tuned in to the Khaotic Culture Podcast. And